Test 1, test 2. What's up, y'all? Los here for Emergency Exit Podcast. Now we're here in my bonsai garden, but that's not what we're gonna be talking about today. We're gonna be doing a little bit of a mustache tutorial. But to have a mustache, you gotta get rid of the beard. So first I'm gonna go do that. And then we're gonna be right back with some more action. That's right. We're going to do a couple different styles here. We're going to use wax first. Probably going to use this wax. This is some of my favorite stuff. This is by Death Grip. If you guys like that little carrying case for it, you give me a holler. I'll make you one. But this stuff is absolutely incredible. It holds so much for so little. So the way you want to do that is get your wax, and if it's really hard like this stuff is, you're going to want to make it warm first. Some people like to take a little lighter to it. Other folks will just take what they need, a little dab will do you, and just rub it between your fingers until that stuff is softer than a baby's butt. All right, let's see here. So once you get it in there and you've worked it a bit and it's warm, now you can slowly work it into your mustache. Now you don't want to pull on it because you're going to easily pull your mustache hairs out. And every mustache hair you pull out is a soldier dying in your army of your mustache. So every soldier counts in this little game that we're playing here. So I'm slowly sort of working it in, not yanking, but definitely giving it a little bit of a pull. The more you pull together, the better chances you have of it not being pulled out. But you want to get plenty of coverage. You want to get every last hair, and you can already see this stuff working. You could easily pinch the ends and twist them and get some sort of style going. But before we do all that, I'm gonna get my comb and just simply separate the hairs. This will also give you an appearance of length, even though that is your length. Because hair is sort of crinkly, you're going to get a shorter hair. So this will sort of stretch it out and straighten it, if you will. And that way you got a better chance of it doing like a swoop. And that's what we're going to sort of do. So now remember, when you put wax in your mustache, you're putting like beeswax in. So it's not going to be the easiest thing to get out. And so very, very hot water will help it get out. But very, very hot water next to your face is not fun. So be careful when you use this stuff. A lot of people, once they put it in there, it's in there for the whole week. But essentially, with just a little bit of work, you've got yourself a nice little mustache you can walk outside with, you know? And then you could fix up all the little loosies and everything. And if they're being stubborn, you take a little bit more wax, rub it in there, and just get it in there. And you definitely want to clear the palate. So there are a couple different styles. I don't even know if they have any actual names. But from my experience, when you see pinched tips, you're gonna have a very thin tip with a lot of hair that's sort of mashed together with the wax so that you can get more of a style going. It acts more as if it's a clay, if you want to look at it that way. But the more wax you have in there, the more that it's going to look like there's stuff in there. And I think the goal of this is to not make it look like you've got a whole fucking cholo's makeup face of mustache wax in there. So because also it's been months since I've even attempted to run with a mustache, the hairs aren't exactly doing what they want to do or used to do. And so that involves a little bit of training. So you do have to train. This wax comes with a pick, because it's best to use a pick with that. What they say is you can run the back of your nail across the wax and get some wax. This is just as good, and it saves you from getting it under your fingernail, which is shitty to get it out. All right, so we apply, we comb. Got a lost soldier. And so this wax is very pliable. What some people like to do is they'll do the pinch, and then they'll do the pinch roll, and then they'll just do the pinch. And what that will do is take that thin string and then flatten it so that you have an appearance of a fatter mustache. And fatter mustaches, in my opinion, are just much cooler looking. So I've done the pinch, and now I'm done the pinch and roll. Now I'm just doing the pinch. The pinch and roll reminds me of when you're scratching your balls. So don't think we're talking about scratching balls here or the aquabats. But we can take it, and the heat of your hand helps melt the wax again, and then as it cools down, it'll sort of stay there. What you can also use is a hair dryer for this too, because when you put the hair dryer on, you'll feel your mustache be very pliable. You can still feel the wax; it's sort of sticky, but then as soon as you let go of that heat, it all will start setting, and you'll have a mustache. So we'll call this mustache. We'll do a tighter curl. I don't normally do tighter curls. I like to do as big half circles or circles as I can get. And then you can bring them in. If you see that there. Now we're gonna show you another way that I actually like to do it, and it does not involve wax. I don't like using wax because I like to wash my mustache every day, and I don't like sleeping with this. But for instance, if you had your mustache done like this, and you wanted to rock it the next day, you're sleeping on your back. First lesson, I think, with the wax is just about complete, but the easiest and dirtiest method is just taking it and then just really fucking twisting it right there. You see that? And then you've got yourself what's called the English stash, where it's just hot points, just fucking like an airplane. So they call that one. Now, forgive all the little wispies there. The wispies will go away if I do some more detailing. I'm just not going to put that much wax in there because we're going to do a different method here in a second. But as you can see, we've got a sweet little stash there, and you can add a little bit of a curl if you want. You can have them going down. There's a lot of different methods to this, but that's the English. Let's get into the other methods here. I'm going to wash this out. As you get to the length that I'm at, waxes aren't going to look as good. They're not going to look neat enough. And so in which case we're going to use something that the punkers like to use for their spiky hair. This stuff is some of the best stuff. All the champions of mustaches and beards use this stuff, and for a dang good reason too. What I've seen people do is put a little bit on their hands and just wipe it in. I've done the tap in. Now this has a longer setting time without a hair dryer. And it's very messy and it tastes really bad. As you can imagine, hairspray for punkers tastes. But once you get it in there, okay, still feel the wax in there, but that's cool. This might be beneficial. So we're gonna try to make it as fat as we can make it. And the way we do that is using a hair dryer. So we want to get this set. And so what I'll do, okay, so as you can see, it's starting to set. So we'll have one side going. Usually I have something that will hold this up so I can use two hands. And as you can see, it really doesn't take long for it to just start getting hard. So I'm going to do a little bit of flattening out. And I want to make it go like a swoop like that. So I'm going to do the top part first. And then while it's still sort of malleable, you can squeeze it together and try to get a curl going. See what happened there is that it's split. We'll go ahead and try to bring them together. And see, now the hairspray is making it harder for me to comb, and so you gotta be careful. You don't want to yank your stuff out. So what you can do is you can put a little bit of water in there. The water is going to help you re-liquefy that stuff, and you have a chance to, now, you see that? You have a chance to bring it all back together and make a fat stash. Now my stash is a lot smaller than it used to be, or at least shorter rather. And so now you could take You could straighten out your hair here with a small straightener, which I also have. But it sort of makes it hard to make the loop rather, the curl. So we'll go for a shorter curl here, and I'll just hold it in place. Okay, so I'm almost there. I'm gonna finish the ends here in a little bit, but we're gonna get this other side while we got it here. And so I do this thing where I kind of get it to the right shape and then hold it here. When you use hairspray over wax, you have a better hold. You don't run the risk of you walking around in Texas and it like starting to droop. So hairspray is ideal for summertime. Not only that is, well, there are cons. If you get it wet, it'll start doing that. But this stuff holds like glue. I guess hence the name, got to be glued. It really holds well. So now we're getting to more refinement. Now we got sort of the shape we want. Now it's all about refining it. So we're gonna this is where I don't spray anymore and I spray on my fingers. Mustache Champion taught me about this. You wanna put it on there and sort of get to a point where it's pliable, almost sticky and ready to harden up. And that way you've got more of a wax texture, and then you can take it and flatten it out. Pinch and roll and flat. And the important part is that you have more of a thicker part here. You can do the pinch tips, but I think it looks better when you have more of a fuller mustache here and then your tips are nice and precise. So we finish this up here, we're just about done. And I'll show you what to do with all these little wispies that happen at the lip of the mouth here.
The butthole.
Yes, the butthole of the mouth. The butthole of the face, rather. All right, so we've got a pretty good shape working here. Now we've got all these wispies we got to deal with. And that's the easiest part. And it's going to be the same idea here. We get a little bit of this hairspray and we get it a little bit sticky. There we go. And we're just going to touch them and push them against the mustache. If you have trouble with it sticking right away, just hold it there. It's getting there. And this one, I just got to clean up the bottom line right there. Push it up against where we want it to go. And
so you don't recommend trimming the wispies, you recommend taming the wispies?
No, like I said, every last one of these guys is a soldier of the army of your face. So if you start cutting them off, what's next? Maybe if you're in a competition mode, you see that they're just too unruly, yes, you would want to do that. But in this everyday instance, you want to keep as many hairs on your face as you can. And it's easy just to get them in there and tack them in place. See, we're just about done here. Oh, I got a little wisp at the tip. So I'm gonna just do the tip here, just for a second, just to see how it feels there. I like it like this. Now we can keep going further and refine it and get tighter curls. It's absolutely possible at this point, but we're gonna leave it there. So I think that's a pretty good stopping point, and maybe leave a little bit something for next time when we film for the next one. What do you guys think? Well, don't forget to catch us every Friday night at 10 here on YouTube, Facebook, and wherever else we're at. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. We'll see you guys on the next one. Keep mustaching, my friends.